Hello, it's September 2nd here at the bus. It's been a few weeks since we were here, and we've made some progress. Our special guest is gone for now, but thanks to John for joining us today.
He might be with us tomorrow if we find any sheet metal. Hey, there I am. So Angelique, what's today? What are we doing?
Today's goal was to cut and patch the floor. If you can look behind me, you'll see that about half of that to-do list is done. So Paul, how'd that go today?
So John, an associate or a friend or guy we know, I don't know, what do we call John? Friend of a friend, John.
He's a friend now.
A friend of ours, John, came out and gave us some tips. So basically worked with us to be cutting out stuff. He brought a sawzall, he had his grinder, so we double teamed some of the rust holes. You might remember the rust holes, the size they were. You can see some of the photos or check out one of the other videos. But as you can see, we made them bigger and more rectilinear. So there's the front of the left wheel well. Here's behind the left wheel well. Here's the nice giant one where we're going to put an escape hatch now. So here's a nice big one. And then we'll probably, there's a little bit of rusty, a little bit of a peek through there, but I think we might try some of that that fiber tape that you might have seen the cool videos for. Check it out, the video's hilarious. But here's the front one here.
The biggest one.
I don't know if it's the biggest.
Oh, yeah,
well, not completely. It's going to be about the same size as the back one, which is about 3 by 3. Because here's a little peek, but we're gonna cut the rest of this out. The biggest ordeal here, you know, you can just, it should be easy, just cut the shit out. Well, as you can see, there's the cross beams or the framing here going across the width of the bus, but they're not like wall studs. They're not evenly spaced, so they're kind of like, here's one here, and then here's one here, which is it's not the same type as this, and there's one right here, and then the next one is about here. So the other ones seem to be a little more, but there might just be more reinforcing here because there's like the transmissions over here, etc. The biggest part though is obviously we're not cutting through those, but then getting the sheet metal off, which is about a 1/16 inch thick. I don't know what gauge. Feel free to tell us in the comments. But they're tack welded to the frame. So essentially we had to cut, you know, our square and then basically use the crowbar and hammer and like sardine can the thing open. So we bend it back till we got to the tack welding. Some of them in the back were kind of in worse enough condition where we could just pop them with some force. These weren't, as you can see, it's all still pretty clean. So we would bend it back far enough to get the angle grinder in and just cut the weld. You can see we cut the welds out, just kept rolling it back, tin cannon. So that's pretty much it. We got to do that for this part. And then, yeah, we're moving on to actually patching it.
Remember that silicone that we put into the bolt holes last time?
Yeah, they're popping out.
Yeah, they're like little...
They're like rubber stoppers. The idea wasn't, I mean, I assumed as much would happen, but the intent wasn't, there wasn't going to be traffic and force on them because we basically were going to lay, you know, the insulation and then the subfloor, so they would be stationary, and then the underside, they would get shot with some sealant that would probably hold them better in place. So right now they're almost like little rubber stoppers on the like contact vials or whatever. So we're either going to pull them all out or redo the ones that popped out and then go back with plan A. Otherwise, plan B is to come back and Bondo all these little holes, which seems like more work than we need to. So anyway.
It's Labor Day weekend, so the good news is we have Monday if we need it.
Lots of labor.
There's
and mosquitoes this week.
There's no metals, and we might have some fun with the outside. So stay tuned.